Yo, what's up, traders? Good morning. Happy Monday. Yo, I hope you guys had a great weekend and full of love and family and friends. That's what I wish for you to have had a weekend full of love and support from your friends. All right, traders, good morning. Welcome to the spread. I am Shimano Trader. It is 6 a.m. on the West Coast. We have spring forward, so it is a little bit earlier than usual out here, but we're getting ready to trade today. Have a good time. See what the market has in store for us. Bitcoin has hit an all-time high, over 72,000. Been telling my friends and family about that one for years. Hopefully some of them listen and put some money away on the good old Bitcoin. So we have all-time highs on Bitcoin. The market's pulling back a little bit. It's a little bit of a sell-off. We'll go over some of the charts here and get ready for the trade. But other than that, man, welcome to the show. And let's get ready to trade here. All right, traders, let's set up our charts, go over the keys of the day, and let's get ready to roll. All right. All right, man, let's look at our SPY here, see what we got set up for the week. So far we've had a pretty nasty sell-off ever since Friday. So this is a 50-minute chart, so let me at least put an hour chart here. We can see that the market ever since on Friday, we peaked out at 518.22, we sold off really hard there into the close of the day, and we've been trending lower and over. It continued lower after the market closed, and then this morning we continued to drop. So we're now at 510.04 when we're at 518 on Friday, if you can believe that. So we're down 8 points almost. A little bit over 8 points. So, all right, let's get into it here. Let me close this here. All right, let's do our pre-market highs and our pre-market low setup and go from there. All right, traders. Yeah. All right, so here's our pre-market highs. So we're going to activate this. Pre-market highs. Right there, around right there, right? Kind of where we're sitting at for our all right, so pre-market high there, pre-market low. I don't know if we've already made it. We're going to continue to make it. So there is your pre-market low there for the all right, let's put the 30 minutes here. Maybe we get a little bit better levels there. All right, so that's our pre-market high, pre-market low. Let's grab our previous day high here, which is way up here. Our previous day high is sitting way up here. Right? Where's this line at? 518? Yeah, more or less. There's your zone for your previous day high, and then let's do our previous day low here. And there is our our previous day low. So we are currently below all levels here, as you can see, right? So that is our previous day high, previous day low. We're already below both levels, kind of leaning a little bit bearish going into the trading day here. That's just on the SPY though, right? Because look at Apple. Apple seems to be pumping a bit here. And Tesla just kind of trading sideways so far. All right, and then Boeing, no surprise there on Boeing. Boeing is down over $5 since the close on Friday. Let me see. Delta Airlines expects Boeing 737 MAX 10 planes deliveries to be delayed as late as 2027. Delta Airlines expects Boeing 737 MAX P delay 2027. I said that. Boeing says required documents 77 involving 9 doors plunge production appeared to not exist. Boeing faces erroneous scrutiny after recent mishaps. Yeah, man. I mean, when it rains, it pours on Boeing. It means had nothing but bad publicity. When we did the range on Boeing, I'm trying to see what the expected move was on Boeing here. So Boeing has a $7 move. It's already made. It's already made that entire move. No, $5. So it's like $2 away from it. It might hit that bottom. I wouldn't be surprised. Just looking at my notes there. All right. All right. Hopefully that's coming across good on the airwaves there. All right. Let me see. What was I gonna do here? We're gonna go over the keys of the day here. So let's go over that. This is brought to you by Verified Investing over on X. This is Gareth Soloway's company. I really like the way Gareth trades. I think he's getting wrecked on the Bitcoin short though, but he's definitely a good technical trader. It's that morning coffee, guys. That morning coffee. All right. Market blast. Keys to the trading day. Nvidia reversal engulfing candle signals potential top on Friday. Stock continues lower today. So Nvidia, if you guys are curious about Nvidia here, let's put it up on the chart. Here's our Nvidia. NVDA. So there is your sell-off that happened on Friday. Right, kind of major sell-off on Friday, and I think we're definitely lower than the close on the pre-market, but that is your sell-off for Nvidia, guys. Look at that nasty sell-off, and let's look at it on the daily here. So you got this bearish engulfing candle that he's talking about, right? This candle's so big it probably could eat 2 or 3 days worth of up moves in one single move. So that's why it's called a bearish engulfing, because it literally engulfs completely the previous candle. And because that's happened, it's called a bearish engulfing candle. And that's why you get that negative sentiment going into Monday here. So SPY, we wanted to put it on 30 minutes for right now. Okay, and then GE topping tail signals institutional selling stepping in, potential top as spinoff nears. So let's look at GE. What does GE tell us? All right, so there's probably your blow off top on Friday, right? We put that on the daily. You can see that is the blow. You see that blow off top? That's what's called a major blow off top there. So this is General Electric 167.96. Potential top, huh? What a beautiful candle, man. I like candle formations that are so prominent like that. Like that candle compared to any other candle, it just looks so much different. So that's your topping tail that GE that's being mentioned here. So topping tail signals institutional selling stepping in, potential top as spinoff nears. This is General Electric. And then the triple Qs closes below key support trend line, eyes confirmation for a breakdown. China buys 12 tons of gold in February. Epic buying spree continues. BA drops again, and as the Justice Department opens up a criminal investigation into the Boeing 737 MAX that experienced the blowout. Wow. So there is a criminal investigation being opened on Boeing as a result of the doors blowing off. I mean, there's rumors circulating that there's potentially, people were trying to hide that information. Thankfully, nobody died on that. But it's just an indication of more trouble to come for Boeing. Coin and MSTR, I think that's MicroStrategies, continues to rally as Bitcoin breaches the $72,000 mark. Wow. And then CPI data set to be reported on Tuesday. That's tomorrow before the market opens. Expectation for CPI year over year is 3.1%. Last was 3.1%. So they're expecting a 3.1% year-over-year increase on inflation. And then month-over-month is 0.04%, and last time it was 0.03%. And then finally, China CPI rises for the first time in 6 months as inflation starts to uptick. Will it start a new cycle of global inflation? Yikes. Oh man, team, look at that, man. It's that's not good news for us. It's definitely not good news. Not good news on that front. That we're getting news that China's inflation ticked up a bit. So yeah, that is your keys to the trading day today. So you guys tread carefully. Inflation is poking its head up again, its ugly head up again. And then we're also seeing topping tails across the board on some of these companies. We're seeing engulfing candles. So you guys got to be careful out there trading into this week. We have data print tomorrow earlier into the week that's really going to set us up. And then we had that major sell-off on Friday. So all those indications, man, you got to kind of put all that together and come up with a solid strategy going into the week here. So, all right, we got still got about 20 more minutes into the market open. So let's just listen to some tunes and see what other information we can gather. No, we didn't do Baba this week for the range. Lift's still looking good. I should probably leave that there. 3, 4. Got some levels to watch. AMD's yeah, it's down overnight. It's actually down. Let me see, 206.25. Probably down about $1. The AMD is. All right, let me check those levels. All right, that sounds good. So yeah, man. So they changed the hours out here in California. No, it's not just in California. We spring forward. So out here, we're a little bit, we're a little bit earlier on the West Coast now. We should get more light coming in here soon. My daughter scored her first soccer goal this weekend too, man. She's only 8, and she had a great weekend herself because she scored a game. She scored a goal during the game, and she was so excited over that. So she's such a treat. I mean, I think girls have enriched, or it has enriched my life having daughters or having a daughter versus boys. Boys got their own place in my heart for sure. Yeah, they're my boys, my firstborn. And I've got my middle child, but girls are definitely the spice of life, man. They make everything nice. So watching your little girl there, kind of, she's tiny too. She's a little petite, so just kind of watching her, kind of rise up to the moment and have her moment in the spotlight. It was really cool to watch. It was a really cool experience. All right, I'm in other charts right now, so I should stay on the chart with you guys. But I kind of took off a little bit and started looking at other charts. All right, so we're gonna have our main four. I think we did a couple of them last night, right? We did Boeing, we did ARK, Lyft, Apple, Tesla, SPY, Target, Baba, and AMD. I don't know if I have Target up. Let me check. I have Marble up and Baba, Lyft, AMD here. All right, here. I'm gonna put my I'll put TGT there. Target. What happened to Target? Did Target sell off too? Yeah, Target started selling off a bit. Even they did really good with earnings yesterday. Last week. Yeah, I have all my main ones up. Even Snap has pulled back a bit um, on the sentiment going into the trading day today. So you guys be careful out there. I got about 15 more minutes to market open. 15 more minutes into the market opens. Yeah, Bitcoin 72,041. Jeez. 10-year is down a bit. And then the Dixie, our dollar, is actually is put in a little bit of a doji there. Yeah, it's put up a doji. That's interesting. Huh. Yeah, so you might get a reversal on the dollar. This might be the bottom of the dollar. We might get a little bit of a bounce on the dollar. If you guys look at the Dixie, you'll see a little bit of a doji there, or a dragonfly, I think they call it. I think they call it a dragonfly. Let me see. Dragonfly. It's candles. Oh. Yeah. So we have let me see, what did we see here? We're talking about the Dixie, right? So on the Dixie, oh yeah, and I had it here like this. It was another thing. So yeah, so it looks like a dragonfly doji, like a little bit of a dragonfly doji, or it signifies a long-legged doji. It signifies close much higher than the low, chances that the stock price will increase following this pattern. Yeah, so we're seeing a little bit of a doji. What do they call it? A long-legged doji on the Dixie today. So yeah, when we see that, we have to assume that the market is setting up for a little bit of a reversal here, a little bit of a pullback. So I think companies that been beat up maybe won't get beat up anymore, and then companies that have been flying, increasing in share price, can possibly be impacted by the pullback. Yeah, so it should be interesting to see how Boeing reacts this week. Already getting a little bit of pop on the SPY there. Little pop. Baby pop. So I'll most likely be distracted this morning. I've got a job going on this morning. Sorry, guys. I got some business that popped up. I got to handle real quick, so stand by. All right, man. Do some damage control here with with some work. All right, you guys, hang on.
You should go now. Run. No, I won't leave you here. We can run together. Listen, if we run together, they will shoot us from behind. We both die. So, how's about you here? They will kill you. No, don't worry about me. I will hold them. I want you to promise me to survive, to take this message for our country.
Yo, man, damage control for real. Let's see if this guy texts me. Damn. All right, already doing business in the morning. It's going to be a good week. We'll see. Oh, there it is. Let me get this for the address.
So beautiful. I am in heaven? Yes.
All right, guys, we got about 1 more minute to market open, so let's get ready to trade. Oh, Apple's spiking, so that's good news. All right, got about 40 seconds. Let's see what the market has for us today. Good luck, everybody.
Good luck, traders.
All right, here we go. Good luck, everybody. All right, we're off. All right, let's see what the market has in store. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of a pop here on SPY. Tesla's kind of flat. Boeing's selling off pretty hard. Wonder we should short Boeing already here. All right, let's see Tesla. We have this pretty kind of last line in the sand for Tesla here. This little gray line here has been a pretty good area of support for Tesla, but it's about to breach that. Look at Apple. Apple's pumping pretty hard. A little bit of a bounce here on SPY as well. I think Boeing will continue further. What, 190, 149 to the downside on that. Let's check out. All right, so a little bounce on SPY here. That's pretty cool. And then Tesla, let's see if it can, this support line would hold on Tesla. And then we're looking at Boeing puts for the week. We're just going to check those out. A little bounce there, huh? So 190, 149. 190 will be 168 puts for Boeing. All right, a little bit of a... All right, so this is a 30-minute chart here on SPY. I like to trade on 50 minutes on SPY, but I've been flirting around with higher time frames. Look, a little bit of a green candle here on Tesla. That's nice to see. But all right, guys, how you guys doing? 1 minute. Market's been open for a week, for a minute. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in today. We're gonna try to be smart about our trading this week, and we're always going to scalp the SPY. But I think the long trades, the weekly trades is probably where most of the money's at. Had some I left a lot of money on the table with Apple last week. I had 180 calls on Monday, and I closed them out the same day. And I think Apple ended up coming all the way down to like 165, I think, or 170 maybe. 167 hit. It was a low of 167. Imagine that contract would have been worth so much money. But weak hands, man, weak hands, or trying to just make a little bit of money, not hanging on to those winners. And those losers, you'll hang on to the death. But on the winners, man, you just can't wait to get out of that, to take profits on such a, not letting them run. I guess one of the challenges that I've been having. But really nice candle here on Apple. It's already up $2, already up 1.5%. Excuse me. So Apple's a good one. Something to look at this week. I mean, it's been beat up. We've been studying this chart a lot. So we've been watching the price action here on Apple, and the final breakthrough, this rising support here. When that break finally happened, we really had Apple break down on us, and it gapped down, and now it's trying to make its way back up. If we look at this one, let's blow it up so we can really study it here. So our range for the week on Apple is 175 to the high side, and then 172 to the downside. This is now the daily chart, so we've reclaimed the 5-day EMA line here, so we might have some room to the upside. But be careful today, guys, because we've got the CPI print tomorrow morning. So anything can change after today in regards to the market direction. So tread carefully with that. Getting a little bit of a pop on Boeing here. So Boeing is a real bearish stock right now. I think they've opened up a criminal investigation on Boeing over the situation with the doors. So there's been a lot of negative news surrounding that. So as a matter of fact, I would probably, let me see, 195. What did I have? 191, right? It's 120 now. All right, I'm gonna take 192.50 here. I'm gonna take a BA put here. Oh, I got failed on that. All right, 192.50 puts on Boeing, and this is 315 puts. So, and then we have. Well, we say 195. Yeah, I like the way Boeing moves. Boeing moves really good when it. The premium moves pretty good. All right, so we're in those, right? All right, so we've taken Boeing puts 192.50. Oh, what did it say? 192.50 is what we should have got. So we're gonna put that here, 192.50. All right, so that is our trade for the week right now on Boeing. We're gonna try to hang on to that sucker as much as we can. And not have weak hands on it going into this trade. And I feel good about the trade because on the daily, let me see, we blow this up here. On the daily, we are below the moving averages, right? We're kind of towards the bottom of the range. And last week, what I did here, because we set these ranges up, I was like, oh, it's gonna bounce, right? It's already at the bottom of the range. It should go higher, and it just kind of breached it. Not. I don't think it happened on Boeing. It happened on some other. I think Tesla and on Apple where. At the start of the week, it hit the bottom of the range, and we took calls, and it ended up burning us because we've been talking about it. How we don't want to take trades without a little bit more signals that go towards the that support the position that we're taking. All right, so let's watch Boeing here. So that's already up $17, already up 12%. Oh, I got to get these calls, guys. Hang on a second. Yo, sorry about that, man. I've got my business has got this job going on, and the guy who's supposed to do the floors for me had a little bit of a hard time with the floor, so I have to pivot a little bit, and I found somebody to help us out, and they're gonna be there today. So that's kind of where we're at with it. All right, so we're back on the SPY here. All right, so we have a Boeing put in play. We took that live here today with you guys. We're gonna let that sucker play out, so let's be patient with that. That saxophone, huh? No saxophone. Okay, so SPY is working its way up. Boeing is selling off. That's what we want to see on the Boeing side. We have puts here for the end of the week, 92.50. It's very bearish. It's got a lot of negative sentiment. We're already up 20 bucks on it, or up 10% on that trade so far. So we're gonna hang on to it. It's one of those trades where, you know, we gotta let that sucker play out for the rest of the week. That's something different that I want to try is trying to have the patience to see if we can stay in that trade for at least to hit our target, which would be the bottom of the range, right? That 192, 190, 149 is the bottom of the range, and possibly even break it. So a lot of bearish sentiment on Boeing. We're gonna try to capitalize on that. Man, that morning coffee. Shout out to the morning coffee crew. Got to be careful not to spill my coffee too. I think it happened to me not too long ago. I spilled my coffee right in the middle of trading. I think it was. I think I was on a meeting and I spilled my coffee. It was so. Ugh. That's not funny. All right, Tesla, nice pump on Tesla. Look at that. Let me get rid of these old lines here. We were in calls last week and got burned on those. Calls. There you go. All right, so that's a little bit cleaning up the chart a little bit more for us. SPY, you know, still, it's above the 5-day EMA line on the 15-minute chart. Nice candle on Tesla, beautiful candle on Apple, and Boeing continues to sell off. So we're pretty heavy on shares on Tesla and on Apple for the long term. So this pump here, we've been buying it on the dip, or as it's been dropping. And so I'm excited to see that. And then Boeing, we're already up 23% on that trade with Boeing. So again, now I'm in this position that I was in last week, right? So I'm in the money. I'm up almost $50, up 24% on this trade on Boeing. And I want to close it. I want to take my $50 and call it a day with that specific trade. So this is the battle in my mind right now. And I want to close it out because I can lock in my profits. We're up 31% already, lock in profits. But I'm going to try to be a little bit more disciplined on it. So I'm going to try to hang on to it at least until the end of the day. I would love to hang on to it until Friday and close it out way below that. This would be worth a lot of money. So let's see how it plays out. I'll let you guys kind of cheer me on here and say, hey, I would close it. Maybe it looks bullish now. So I'll let you guys help me with that trade. But we do have an open trade currently on Boeing. That is open. 192.50 is our strike price. We took that on that pop. So we saw this little pop on the on this first hour candle. We saw a little pop here, and we saw the rejection. And we took that with confidence because you're seeing the rejection happen all the way down, right? So it's like there's really nothing different in what they call market structure for the specific time frame on Boeing. You can see that the market structure is heading down. So there was really no change in market structure. So when you saw that pop, that was a good opportunity to jump into that put call and not take the put down here. I think when I was looking at it earlier, it was in the 200s. So we're able to pick that up. All right, so we're down 26% on that. I mean, we're up 25%. We're up as far much as 30%. So we've come down a bit here, but we got plenty of time. I'm going to try not to focus too much on it because I think by focusing on it a lot is when you start to kind of wonder, should I get out of this? Should I get out of this? Also, something else that I'm learning is watching your P&L on your brokerage account, right? As you're seeing that change throughout as the stock is changing pricing, you get a little bit more apprehensive about wanting to close that trade. So I think AK47 on Tradecaster was the one who said, don't look at your P&L. Trade the chart. Don't look at the P&L. Don't look at the money so much. That's so hard to do though, right, guys? Because that's what we're here for the money. All right. Might have to send a couple of texts here, guys, so bear with me on that. I just want to make sure I get that set up. That was this gentleman that I found. I found him. I was actually at Home Depot picking up some stuff, and he approached me. He says, "Hey, you need help putting those floors? I do floors." And I was like, "Nah, man, I'm good. But let me have your information." And little did I know that I was gonna need that guy today. So it's a blessing for him and a blessing for me because I might have solved a problem there. All right, just doing my quick P&L here. I'm sorry, I'm just logging my trades. That's what I meant to say. All right, traders. Okay, so we are still sitting on Boeing here. Tesla's moving, so is Apple. So we're pretty big on our share portfolio just because we've been loading up all the way down on Apple. I think one of our levels that we had marked was the 170 level. So that's when we started opening positions there. So it says open here. We start opening up more positions. We had already been buying on the way down and continue to open a position here on our long-term portfolio. So we're going to continue to watch Apple today and Tesla. I'm a little let's look at, if you guys I do a weekly video. I've yet to upload yesterday's video. Got behind on that. I did do the video, I just didn't upload it. So we were doing the expected range for Tesla. So we have 185 to the high side and 165 to the low side. Let me see, what was it? Let me look at my notes here. So Tesla has a $10 move anticipated range. So it has a $4 range from the closing amount. So on the high side, we're at 185.34, and on the downside, 165 for Tesla. $10 range for the week. That's the expected move. And here you can see that we're already starting to work our way up to the top of the range. All right, that morning groggy voice. Okay, so why did I share that with you guys? Just because I think last week we learned Tesla and Apple both kind of burned us because we did have the range, but early in the week, like right at open, that Monday, Tuesday, it dropped all the way down to the bottom of the range. It breached it and it never recovered. So Tesla and Apple really sold off last week. This week, they're already working their way up to the top of the range here. Look at Apple. Our range here is 175 to the top side, 165 to the low side, and it's already working its way up to the top of that level. And this little yellow box here, it might have been a gap fill, and we had some consolidation here, so we're seeing it work its way up to that level. So Apple's on fire this morning, up 1.77%. Tesla's up another 3%. So $5 move on Tesla already when we have a $10 move expected for the week. So both of those look very strong. And then we did open a Boeing put this morning live on the show. We went ahead and took a put of 192.50 on Boeing. Boeing is full of bad news. We're already up 34% on this trade. And this is going to be a little bit of a discipline play for me, because last week on Apple, I had 180 puts at the open. Monday at the open, 180, baby. And the stock dropped down all the way to like 167 during the week. And what did I do? I did exactly what's happening to me with Boeing right now, which is upon opening up that contract or upon opening up that position, I was automatically in the money, up, like right now I'm up $67. I'm up $67. That's I'm up 34% on that trade this morning. It's only been open for a few minutes, already up 34%. What if I would have had, would have gone heavy? I mean, I would have gone heavy on this contract here if I had more to put into this. I've just got other positions open, but there's a lot of confidence going into the Boeing trade, especially with the news this morning that a criminal investigation has been opened on Boeing. It's right here. And let me see here. We read something about it. Oh, here it is. Justice Department opens up probe, interviews crew in Alaska Airlines blowout. But we had read something about it opening up a criminal investigation against it because of what's been going on with the information. So for all we know, guys, like Boeing is trying to hide the evidence or trying to bury the evidence, and now they've opened up an investigation against them. Like, what are you guys hiding? Maybe they knew about it. Maybe they're like, hey, don't worry about it. We don't want to approve overtime. You don't have to tighten those bolts. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that happens in business all the time. And you always think, oh, it's not going to happen to me. Not this time. It'll be different this time. And usually, you could end up getting burned that way. So we'll stay negative on Boeing. We're sitting on puts there for the week, and we're going to try to hang on to that position as much as we can this week, and have the discipline to let that trade play out. It has not even hit the bottom of the range. I think our target would be that 191 bottom of the range. And before we close that out, I think if it breaches it, we might consider closing it sooner, but we know we have a target price there. And then both Apple and Tesla we've been talking about all morning. Those look really good at open. And then Bitcoin, guys. I don't know if you guys got any Bitcoin traders here. Let me know if you guys trade Bitcoin. I don't trade Bitcoin necessarily. I kind of just buy and hold it. I did sell some Bitcoin going into this rally here on strength. It's just that I've been such a long-term holder of it. I was like, I'm going to sell into strength here. But it is 71,658 as of this morning, or as of right now. So congrats to all my diamond hands, who loaded up at 17,000. That was the move. All right, Boeing continuing to see a little bit of a downside, a little bit of a pullback here on SPY too. Look at that, right? If you look at SPY here, this is a 15-minute chart. You look at the sell-off that happened Friday. This all started on Friday, guys. So if you guys were trading on Friday, we had this huge sell-off on Friday, and the whole market sold off. And as we were reviewing charts last night, you can see it all over the market. A lot of blow-off tops, a lot of dojis, a lot of reversal candles. So trade carefully. All right, 75. We're up. Let me see. What's this? 41%. So we're up 41% on our Boeing puts already. Looks like it's going to be a good week with Boeing. So we're going to try to hold tight on that as best we can, unless some miracle news come out. I doubt Boeing will recover. Here's the drop on Boeing, guys. We're watching it live here. That's beautiful. All right, look at that flush, baby. All right, look at that 192.63. We're up $111. We're up 60% on this trade already on the Boeing trade. Boeing is bearish going into the week. We have our levels set, our ranges, and it's already approaching the bottom of the range. Let's see if Boeing acts like Tesla and Apple did last week, where they breached the bottom of the range and it never even came back up to it. That is the trade of the day so far, guys. Boeing puts 192.50. Not financial advice, not a recommendation. You may lose money. But bearish on Boeing for sure today. So we're already up 70% on this trade. That translates into $125 single contract that we took. We might hit 100% today just with all the negative momentum. Look at the volume. Look at the volume on this. What do we got? 1.6 million at open. I've been talking a lot. If you guys have been watching my videos, I try to upload every Sunday. Excuse me. We've been talking a lot about volume profiles, right? And just volume, and we've also been talking a lot about being familiar with a set of stocks and being familiar with how they move and getting used to seeing their price action and getting familiar with their volume profile. And by that I mean this, right? So this first hour candle on Boeing is 1.7 million shares being traded, okay? And we still have a little bit to go before this candle closes. But I'm going to give you an example. Look at it last week, the first hour. What do we have? 1.4. Today was 1.6, right? 1.7 and going. Look at Thursday of last week, the first hour. 547,000 shares. First hour the day before that, 459,000 shares. The first hour on Tuesday, 684,000 shares. That Monday of last week, first hour trade, 1 million shares. Right. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is that it's unusual. It's unusual for Boeing to have such a high volume during the first hour. So that translates into you getting a little bit of an edge on this trade. So some of the things I talked about last night was specifically around getting familiar with your basket of stocks, right? If you're one of these traders that you're like, oh, SPR, and you run off to SPR. Oh, what, Amazon, and you go, you run off. Oh, Tesla, and you run off to all these like stocks, right? You're like, oh, I'm running all over the place trying to chase these stocks, trying to chase the move. And what you're missing out in that, and by doing that, is you're missing out in getting familiar. So I'm showing to you here with Boeing how I've been trading Boeing since the beginning of the year. So this is 3 months on Boeing, just watching the price action, just studying it every Sunday, you know, keeping it on my charts as I trade throughout the day. And by doing that, it gives me this familiarity with the stock. Like, oh, okay, I see what it's doing. I mean, it's been my best stock the entire year, like trading it and option wise, calls and puts and calls. But look at right now, it's just proving again to me, up $145, up 76% this morning so far. And we have until the end of the week for a couple of things to happen. One, to lose our profits, right? Because if this thing reverses, or to really capitalize and maximize the return on it. One of the transitions that I've been making as a trader is trying to focus more on the long moves, on the bigger time frames, and looking at weekly trades rather than daily trades. I don't think trading is gambling. Not at all. Not one bit. Okay. I think gambling is, you know, even professional handicappers, right? They can turn it into a business. You can be very professional about it if you want to be, and you should be, especially if you're putting money on the line. Wow, look at Boeing, guys. 190. We're already in the money. It's up $150, 78% already on this trade. Again, I'm itchy. I want to close that trade so badly just because I'm up on it. But this is exactly what I was going through with Apple last week. I was just so like, oh, I want to close it because I was already in the money right from the gate. So I'm going to do something a little different here with Boeing. Maybe maybe next week I'll be like, oh man, I should have closed that. I was in the money. But that is the life of a trader, man. Second guessing yourself and it's being able to build the confidence and have the conviction to stay in your trade, stay in that trade. So yeah, Boeing, major sell-off. What do we got here? Already almost 2 million shares on the first hour on Boeing. That is an indication to me that is a major selling going on there. Let's auto zoom this so you guys can look at the drop on it, right? And this is a small example of it. All right. I mean, if you really want to see the drop on Boeing, you got to look at this daily, even the weekly chart. Look at this, 267 at one point, and we're sitting down here. All right. It's another example of why you shouldn't get married to your stocks, thinking, oh, this one will always go up. Bitcoin mentality too, right? This will always go up. It'll always shoot up. I mean, sometimes you got to take profits, and you're smart to do so. Yeah, Boeing is in trouble. There's the drop. We're going to put it on the hourly chart. It gets a little bit more dramatic that way. There it is. Might get a little bit of a bounce at the bottom of the range. It actually touched it, right? We have 191.49 and it's at 191.80. We'll see if it can hold or if it's going to break through. We wanted to break through. That's our goal. All right, let me get a sip of this coffee. All right. Let me take this one here. Well, it's 6:56. We'll do it at the top of the hour here. Tesla's popping, guys. Really good movement on Tesla. Tesla's up 3.5%, 3.72%. I'm sorry, almost $7, $6.50 currently. As we look at this one, this is one that we also charted with our weekly range here. Oh, what am I doing? I wanted to show you the. Let's maximize this. That's what we wanted to do. So look at this candle on Tesla. Beautiful first hour candle. We are remember I told you about Boeing, right? But we're impressed that Boeing was doing 2 million shares, something unusual for Boeing. Well, look at Tesla's first, but Tesla's got 15 million shares during that first hour. So much different type of action happening here. Let me kill this too because this is gone. All right, so on Tesla, also same thing with the range example, right? So our range, top of the range, 185.34, bottom of the range, 165.34. So we're already working. This is doing the opposite of what it was doing last week, where it started going towards the bottom of the range and eventually breaching it and never revisiting it. But this one's really has some force behind it, as well as Apple here. So we're going to continue to watch our plays here. You guys know that I'm currently in the Boeing play. And we are sitting on shares for both Apple and Tesla currently. And we're also watching the SPY here, see what it does. All right, we'll switch up our music too, man. I think it's time to turn it up a little bit. I think I like the next one better. There it is. All right, traders. Oh, if you're on the West Coast, man, well, everyone, right? We spring forward, so the hour has changed out here, well, it's always a little bit of it takes a little bit of a getting used to, right? A little getting used to the new time and all that. What do they like to say? Oh, we spring forward and we fall back in October. Let me just turn that down because it sounds louder on my headphones that it comes across on the airwaves. And I sometimes feel like it drowns my own voice out in my headphones. So you guys let me know if the mix there is decent, meaning that you can hear my voice better than you can hear the music. The music is just to help us with the dead air time that happens in broadcasting. Sometimes we get this like dead air moment, and the music helps us kind of deal with that. All right, so look at SPY now. SPY is hitting approaching the pre-market low here. So pretty nasty rejection there on SPY. I wonder if Apple and Tesla are going to pull back as a result as well. Yeah, so a little bit of a pullback here on SPY. Started off pretty good. I mean, it was down overall, right, over last week. So it all started up here. So this is still some of that negative momentum still driving us and pulling us down here. All right, guys, 7 a.m. on the West Coast. This is The Spread. We are a live trading show 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time. I am Shimano Trader. You can catch me on Instagram at Shimano Trader if you want to connect there. Other than that, thanks for hanging out with us today. We've got some positions open and we are in some trades and we're watching the market here. We've got some exciting things happening this week with the CPI print happening tomorrow. So if you are in shares, if you are taking positions today, be mindful that the CPI print is happening tomorrow and that will change the market, that will impact the market. So tread carefully in regards to how you're going to position yourself. If you have not taken a position yet and you're not, you haven't come up with a strategy for what you're going to do with the CPI print, I would encourage you to maybe wait till after tomorrow and maybe play the action after and not the action before. So there's just some recommendation there in regards to risk management. Let me also take a moment here to just kind of share with you guys that we are doing a our first giveaway. I will tell you, not a single person has taken me up on this, but I am perfectly okay with it. It doesn't bother me one bit. Honestly, it doesn't. But what we have is we have a giveaway, and it is this book that we're giving away. It's called The Best Loser Wins by Tom Hoggard. And it is a trading psychology book mainly. It's a really easy read, real simple read. It's not a boring read at all. This guy writes pretty good. And the way he speaks about trading is very relatable. But anyway, the book talks a lot about how we are not wired to be good traders. We're wired to be losers in the stock market. And the simple example that I like to give is if you are in a winning position, you're experiencing what I'm currently experiencing with my Boeing position, which is that I want to close that. I want to take my profits. And I'm not giving the trade an opportunity to play out. I'm not giving the trade an opportunity for it to turn into something great, right? Meaning that I'm going to give it, until the middle of the week. I'm going to give it until Friday, maximize my return on that trade. I want to close it out already. But when we're in a losing position, we will hang on to that trade until it goes to zero, maybe, because we are hopeful that it's going to return, that it's going to get us back into the winning circle. And that is the psychology of a trader that we're trying to work and be better about. Don't hang on to your losers. Be a good loser. Cut your losses quickly. If the trade's going against you, get out. Don't look back. Move on with your life. And on the long side, if you're in a winning position, give it time. So it's very counterintuitive, I think, in regards to wanting to do that. It is a difficult thing to do, believe it or not. And that's what makes it so weird when you're trading. It makes it weird because you're like, man, why am I feeling this way? Why am I experiencing these feelings of watching my money disappear right before my very own eyes, and I can't do anything about it? I don't make a decision on it. So anyway, check that out. Check out the post. The way the giveaway works is you got to go to my Instagram at Shimano Trader, find that post, follow the rules. And like I said, the giveaway is this Friday. So if you are hearing this and you want that book and you're in the United States, that's all you got to do. Other than that, no worries, no hard feelings. We have the rest of our lives to do giveaways and continue to do fun stuff like that. All right, guys, we are officially at 67% trade on the Boeing trade. This trade is doing really well for us. SPY starting to pull back and start heading lower. It looks like we're breaching the pre-market low. So usually strategy that I've learned online has been things like if we are below, let me see, I'll show you guys what I mean here. If this is our range for the week, right? 520 to the high side, 503 to the low side on SPY. And then here, this is our previous day high, and this red line here is our previous day low. So we are below all those levels. We're below the previous day high, the previous day low, the pre-market high, the pre-market low. So pretty bearish sentiment going into this trade. Bearish sentiment for SPY. All right, guys, stand by. I gotta make a quick call. All right, traders, continue to watch the sell-off here happen on Boeing. Surprisingly, Apple and Tesla are doing the opposite, right? These two are pumping right now, and we're, of course it is, and we're watching Boeing sell-off here. So let us know what positions you guys are in. If anything, you see anything in your charts, anything you guys want to look at together, we can. Otherwise, we're just gonna kind of watch the show here. Watch our positions play out. Jeez, we're doing really good on our share portfolio. Solid day today. So far, really good day trading today. Very profitable. See if we can keep that up the rest of the week. Wow, guys, look at SPY. Jeez. Woo, man, SPY selling off hard. Everything's selling off here. Even Boeing starting to breach the bottom of the thing here. Wow. TCBP. Let's check that out. I don't even know what that is. Wow, look at this sell-off, guys. Crazy. All right, shout outs to Mr. Rubio. Thanks for joining us today, Rubio. TCBP. What do we got there? Whoa. Oh, penny. Is this penny stocks? Yeah, man. You know, I'll be honest with you guys. When I started trading, my first time doing trades, any kind of trades, I used to trade the penny stocks. And well, maybe it's not a penny stock. Maybe it's just sold off. Oh, it's a bio. Oh man, Josh really likes the bios. Wow, look at that. What do we got? 64 million. Wow, 64 million shares. Good Lord, man, that's crazy. Yeah, no kidding, man. 144% TCBP up 144%. Jeez. Good luck with that, man. Careful. Sizing matters in when you have stocks that are like that under $10. You want to play them because they're cheap, but they move. You know, there's not a lot of liquidity in those shares. I'm sorry, in those kind of companies. So what ends up happening is that somebody can come in and just like literally move the entire price of that stock because it's not as expensive. Think about somebody coming in and making a move on a stock like Tesla, right? You're gonna come in and you're gonna buy hundreds. It's $100 stock. So the manipulation exists in smaller price shares or smaller price companies. A lot of manipulation happens, and also liquidity can be a problem. But that's just my perspective, man. And I did it, and I had to learn my way, whether to stay or not in those positions. And when I started moving into, start getting more experience with trading, I started focusing on more stocks that have more liquidity and that have more fundamentals, things like that. It's just safer, I think. I think we'll learn one way or the other, right? All right, pretty big drop here. Let me give you an update on our Boeing trade. Our Boeing trade is up 92%. We're up $175 on that, and we're gonna let it run. So let's see how that works out for us. No, Rubio, thank you, sir. Thanks for joining us. Let us know where you reaching out to us from, or where you at? Where in the country are you at? Baby. Oh, New York. All right. NY, man. New York's cool, dude. I like New York. I used to go there with my dad. One of my fondest memories is walking in Manhattan. You get this visualization of when you think about New York, like this flood of people just walking together, crossing the street. And I would see that in movies, and it's real. it's real, and it feels like it's like that all the time. Like there's always thousands of people walking the streets. But it was fun times out there. Shout out to Rubio and NY, man, in New York. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, always. It's like I couldn't believe it, man. It's like the city, and then I think another cool experience that not cool because it's not cool, but an experience that I had in New York was watching an ambulance just sit in traffic. It was like and like nobody would move. It's just like sitting in traffic, just sitting there. Some poor souls sitting in the back of that ambulance, and nobody's moving, nobody's pulling to the side. It's just yeah, man, I'm telling you it's fun times. And then I think taxis too, right? Calling back before Uber, when I was in New York, there was no Uber, so calling a taxi or waving by a taxi, or I was almost getting taken out by a taxi in a corner, or some of my memories up in New York. All right, so Boeing continues to sell off. We've breached the bottom of our weekly range here on Boeing. So pretty interesting how quickly we've hit the bottom of the range, but not surprising considering all the bad news happening with Boeing. I've been talking a lot about how that it'd be not a bad idea to start accumulating shares in Boeing when it was sub 200. But man, look at that, we're at 191 already. It might have a lot more room to run to the downside. So careful on that. Yeah, but it is 191.10. We are deep into the money here, with about 4 days to go. looks like everything's starting to roll over too. If you're looking around here, Apple, Tesla, things are starting to pull back a bit. I don't know if there's any news out. You used to have a little news ticker here. Let me check that out. See if there's. All right. Well, that's not. Yeah, I can't see. But just a little bit of. Looking at the S&P. Let me see what the S&P is doing. The S&P, yeah, S&P is down to 5092. So S&P is down to 5092. Starting to pull back a little bit. I think 50. Anything below 5065. I think it's a level to be careful at on the S&P. Target's going down. Snap. Snap had a pretty major pop. TikTok. The TikTokers, they want to ban TikTok in the United States, and that made Snap pop. We actually made some money on that pop. But if you look at Snap today, it's sold off. It's actually down for the day for 4.35%. Oil is down pretty big as well. We're glad we got out of that. Baba's popping today, up 2.5%. Lyft is selling off as well, down 2.5%. AMD too is down about 3.89% as well. So a lot of selling off going on in the market, guys. Be careful out there, especially going into the CPI print tomorrow. You guys gotta be careful with that. You're seeing a little bit of a pullback on Tesla there. Same thing on Apple. Apple looks healthier than Tesla to me right now. Interesting. SPY. All right. What happened with SPY here? Did they found a little bit of a bottom here? One of the things I've been sharing with you guys as well is to always look left, right? Like, let's maximize this chart here. Let's auto zoom it and kind of see we're starting to have a little bit of a bounce. You kind of want to look left. And when you look left, right, you can identify that, there's some support here on it, right? Like, that's kind of where it bounced. Oh, I got to take this call, guys. Hang on a second. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know if you've been with me earlier today, but I have a job going on at one of my job sites, and we're having we're coordinating some additional help to help with some of the floor work that's being done, and we just want to make sure that the guys show up on time. Hey, managing people is like herding cats, guys. So if you're in business for yourselves and you have to manage and contract people, it gets challenging. It gets challenging to manage people in situations. So when you find good people, I would always encourage you guys to pay them well and try to hang on to them, because they are a rare bunch. Sorry, guys. How about that volume? That volume spike. Okay, so Boeing continues to sell off there. SPY has attempted to reclaim. It was being rejected, broke the morning day low. So the pre-market low, right? This red dotted dashed line here is my pre-market low. So it broke that pre-market low, right? It's breached that. It came back up to test it, and it's being rejected again. But it's also being rejected by the 5-day EMA line. So pretty negative sentiment for SPY to continue more to the downside. Meanwhile, our Jesus Christ, our Boeing is at 190.25. All right, guys. So on Boeing, we are up $235 this morning. We are up 123% on that trade so far. So Boeing is printing. Oh man, where's my sound? That's weird. Can't hear it. Anyway, yeah. So and then Tesla starting to pull back a little bit here. Interesting pullback on Tesla. Interesting spot to pull back. I think they didn't hit a higher high at all. So, but a lot of volume there in the beginning. So I'm going to continue to watch Tesla there. Hope you guys like EDM or house music. I love house music. There it is. My soundboard wasn't working, guys. Yeah, I wanted to make that sound because we're printing on Boeing. All right, man. Let's hope everything goes well with that job. Should do. It's just there's nothing wrong that has happened. Everything's fine. All right, Tesla, interesting spot here. Tesla continues to pull back. Still up for the day. Still above the 5-day EMA line, so it's just maybe a healthy pullback on this pop here. So again, 5-day EMA line is something that I use a lot. It's an indicator that I use a lot. Is if 8 and 21-day moving averages and the 5-day EMA line on smaller time frames are something I like to use a lot, just to help me kind of identify market direction in that particular share. All right, guys, hang tight. Let me see. I've been playing some. Let me see if we have anybody on CNBC here. If I step away for a second here. Oh, there you go.
And the goes for everybody. We do not have. Well, we will assess that as well. We have
I'll leave you guys a little bit of audio there.
Going on with Apple. It's for everyone.
I'll step away a second. Give me a second, guys. I'll be right back.
That they will have to comply with the Digital Markets Act. That goes for Google. That goes for Meta. That goes for Apple. That goes for ByteDance, for that matter.
Have you had a chance to review the compliance forms? I know they were just due last week. And what do you make so far of some of these proposals? Are they on the right track?
Well, so far the teams have been, really deep in every detail. We see a lot of good things happening. We see that some companies, they're really doing their best in order to comply. And we see a situation where we have doubts. And now we want to hear from the companies, and we want to hear from third party how they experience the compliance. And then we'll see if non-compliance cases will be opened.
I am curious about TikTok and how you're thinking about that, especially after this morning we heard from President Trump on this show. And we're seeing new legislation introduced, what would force a divestiture of TikTok by ByteDance. Are you looking at similar legislation in the EU?
Well, there are two issues at stake here. One is sort of how does the market function? Do they play a role in the market? The TikTok social media, they do. TikTok apps is very, very tiny in Europe. But then, of course, there's the economic security discussion, which is a separate discussion. For the European Commission, we have taken the consequence not to be on TikTok, not to have TikTok on our phones, but we do not have the same discussion in Europe. It may come due to economic security issues rather than competition.
Got it. What about the AI Act? I think the European Parliament is voting this week, which could be a crucial moment on the AI Act. What is the timeline of events that will go from there, assuming it passes, which people do?
I think everybody assumes that it passes, yes. And then it will come into effect in a sequence. The first thing to come in effect is the ban of certain uses of AI, like social scoring systems, like embedding AI in toys that could have a adverse effect for children, like the ban of live facial recognition surveillance in public space. And then the watermarking of artificial intelligence comes into effect. So obviously, we're very, very careful as to what will happen before it comes into effect. And we are in dialogue with the big tech that has signed up to make sure that watermarking is indeed available, because this is the biggest election year. I think no one has escaped that fact on the planet. And of course, it is really important that the platforms, they enable us to see what is real and what is made by artificial intelligence.
But shouldn't you be working with the U.S. here on a law like this at this stage of the technology? I know that a number of big European companies, Heineken, Renault, they penned a letter saying that you're risking European competitiveness going at this in part alone.
We've been working with the US since the very first meeting of our Trade and Technology Council to have the same approach to artificial intelligence, which is not to regulate technology, but to regulate the use of technology. And that also means that innovation, research, all of that is not touched by the AI Act. It is when you put it into use. And the point of our regulation is for people to trust technology, that you can use it without the risk of bias in the use cases. We have very big public sectors in Europe, and they should be part of the demand push for the use of artificial intelligence. And obviously, no public sector service can have a bias towards one gender or another, one religion or another, one social class or another. So we see it as a way of opening the market for AI that can be trusted.
But you don't have an OpenAI. You don't have a Microsoft. You don't have an Alphabet. Why not? Why doesn't Europe have these things? Some might argue it's because of vigorous regulation, like you're posing.
Oh, well, I definitely do not think so. These reasons are very, I think, trivial.
Who is this lady anyway?
We do not have as vibrant a capital market as you find it in the US. We did not provide a digital single market in the first big wave of digitization. So we need to find other ways. One of them would be to make sure that
Baba's pumping, guys.
can have access to the
Up 2.5%.
compute capacity of the European Union, where you find actually some of the world's best computers, because you need that kind of capacity. And of course, it is amazing and thrilling to see how the cooperation between big tech and smaller companies can develop artificial intelligence, because the data is available.
Oil's
and
down
because
big
the compute
too.
Power is available.
Commissioner Vestager, always a pleasure. Thank you for taking all the questions. I know you have a lot on your plate.
It was
We
my
just
pleasure
skimmed
to
the
be with
surface.
you.
Thank you from South by
indeed.
Southwest.
Well, thank you very much for having me. Have a nice
Thank
day.
you.
Bye-bye.
In Austin, Texas, Margaret Vestager with some comments, I mean, clearly in response to Apple and that fine, and trying to comply with the Digital Markets Act. Remember, all these companies, Microsoft, Google, Apple, they just submitted their compliance reports last week. So I'm sure the lawyers, her team, poring over it. As you said, tight time frame. They're going to figure out who gets fined for.
All right, guys, that's Squawk on the Street. Just give you guys something to listen to. I had to step away for a second here. We're back, though. We're back. We're back. All right, so let's see where we're at. What's on the screen here? IoT is making a little bit of a move there. So IoT reported earnings last week. The company's called Samsara Inc. Ticker symbol IoT. It did really good last week after earnings, and it kind of flagging a bit. I'm gonna see if I can put it on the chart here. All right, SPY, a little bit of a bounce here on SPY, getting above the pre-market low. So it's helping out Tesla. Remember Tesla? We talked a little about, excuse me. We talked a little bit about Tesla, how it's starting to pull back a little bit at this level, but it's finding support at the 5-day EMA line. That's decent. Apple looks bullish for sure. You know, just kind of looks like it's done selling off and starting to, maybe people are starting to find areas in the market to move their money to because some of the money rotation has been happening. No, right? All right, guys. Spring is in the air. Spring is in the air. All right, 5102 on the S&P. Remember, we're at 5065 at one point. So the S&P 500 is a really good chart to have up. It's a good that in the mini futures, the /ES, /ES. That's also a nice. Those are good charts to have open. They tend to give you a little bit of a preview or a little bit of an idea, kind of where the market is at and what it's doing. So I always like to reference back to those S&P 500 and the futures. What is it called? Yeah, it's /ES. I think it's the mini S&P futures is what that is. Yeah, big pop on IoT, guys. Oh, I was gonna bring that up, huh? All right, so we're gonna get rid of SPY here for a second because we're not in that trade, and we're gonna put IoT down there. You can see. So that's IoT on the 15-minute chart. You probably want to look at least an hourly chart on that. You can already see you see the pop here, and then you see the consolidation that's happening. So it's popped up to 42, and now it's consolidating. It has been consolidating here for a little while. We were in this. We made some money on. I think we made some money on it, but we closed out too soon. So we actually bought at 39 and sold at 37. So it's because we got in on the pop, made some money, and then we tried to get back into it, and then it sold off Friday. So that's where we lost some money on that. But it looks solid to add shares. I think it's a good share stock. So IoT, take a look at that. Had strong earnings, gave good guidance. Probably a good stock to add shares to, especially if you have a long-term portfolio. It's definitely a good stock, I think, to just let it go. Just put some away there and let it go. All right, so Boeing gave it up, right? So Boeing got as far down as 189.80 and it started to recover a bit there. But again, just like it's doing the same thing that Apple did, right? It's trying to shake out the bears. It's shaking them out so then you can go long and get out of your position. So I'm going to try to hang on to this at least until the middle of the week. So it's something that if we're back here, if you guys join me again on Wednesday, we'll take a look at it together and see where we're at with that. Look at SPY, right? Look what happened here. A little bit of a sell-off. This support line here, this is one that we looked at. We just looked at it not too long ago, right? And we said, look left. And yeah, this is the one. So we put, I think we did 30 minutes. We put the line here, right? And we said there was support here. These are all these areas of support off that bounce. That's before that move happened. And we found it, look, over here, and it's all through here. So it was a great area for a bounce, and it did exactly that. It bounced. But it doesn't mean it's going to stay. It's going to change directions, but you're going to get a little bounce. And if you can get that bounce and time that bounce, then you can make money, right? You can jump, like right here, you could have jumped into some calls and it would have spiked up a bit, probably close out your calls, especially if you're doing 0 DTE. 0 DTE, that means it's going to expire today. You don't want to be sitting in those too long because the premium is going to get eaten up by the time decay. But you could have made a little bit of cash there, maybe even stayed long. Because look at that, still going long. So you guys tell me if you guys, option trading and stock trading, I kind of mix up the two here. Obviously, I'm in put contracts here on BA. I've got some shares on Tesla and on Apple. So it's really a matter of preference. And there's not a single strategy that it's always 100%. So you got to kind of mix it up. But I'll be honest with you guys. I've made most of my money trading shares. And I think it's because I'm sure you guys know this. It primarily has a lot to do with the fact that if you're not, if you are the whole fact that a contract expires is what makes option trading so risky, is that you can completely lose your money. Like you're out, and think about a shares, right? You have unrealized losses, right? So you have unrealized losses. Oh, hold on. And there's a difference between unrealized losses and actual losses, right? So with options, that's what happens. You have actual losses. Yeah, IoT looks good. All right, a little bit of a pullback here on the market, feels like. Where's Bitcoin, guys? Anybody know? Bitcoin 72,129. Wow. Rejoice, guys. Cryptos. No, I'm gonna. All right. Boeing's recovered a bit here. Still very bearish. A lot of volume to the downside. Wow. All right, nice recovery there on Boeing. All right, so Boeing's recovered a bit here. Looking like the market is funny, right? It's still pretty bearish. I mean, look at these big wicks here. Yeah. All right, let me work on something. I was trying to work on a, let me see. What was I going to do? Okay, I got to go to my OBS. And I was going to check on my OBS that I had a, yeah, I always trip out on the quality of that. Okay, I was going to work on a new scene, right? Let me see. I was going to call... say chart patterns or patterns. Yeah, so what I was gonna do with patterns was I was gonna do a let me see, I was gonna show you guys a picture, an image. Let me see, pattern. All right, let me see if that works here. So, and I'm going to browse for that image, and let me see if I can find it here. There it is. Okay, I'm just messing with, I'm trying to show you guys something. Hang tight. I'm trying to just share some patterns with you guys. Oh man, let me see. Oh, there it is. Oh, I don't know how that's gonna show on the screen. All right, let me check real quick. Let me see what you guys think here. All right, there's a pattern. Yeah. So some of the stuff that we've been looking at here in regards to patterns, and keeping something like this may be handy to help you with your trading. Let me add a let me add my video capture there. Oh, cool. All right. Oh, that works. Oh, that's cool. All right, so I did something like this, right? So check this out. Right? So we could talk about patterns, and yeah, I don't know exactly how it shows up on the screen though. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know how it shows up here, but anyway, this is some of the pattern stuff I've been keeping with me to just kind to help me trade. Keep something handy, like a little cheat sheet to help you reference patterns and help you place trades. All right, Apple's pulling back a bit here. Interesting. All right, traders, where you at? Who's profitable? Yeah, we're still doing good on our trade here with Boeing. So Boeing's playing out well. It's really carrying our P&L today. Some of our shares also in Tesla and on Apple looking good as well. All right, a little bit of a bounce there on Boeing. We're cool with that. We're going to stick to that trade a little bit longer. We have till the end of the week on it. Close your eyes. Oh, wow. Nice. Some checks are in the mail. That's great. All right, look at a bit of pullback here on Apple. See what happens there. Tesla's looking solid. Apple, hopefully it can regain some strength. There's a little bit of a pullback, but we're sitting above the 5-day EMA line, so we're confident. You know, that's important, right? Knowing your levels, knowing your ranges. See, we're seeing Boeing here breach the bottom of the range, and that's really bearish for something like Boeing. But Boeing's in trouble. Boeing's got. I wouldn't be surprised if Boeing, you know, they find a chest full of paper where it said, "I told you about this door was gonna blow off," and they're trying to bury it somewhere. So there's a lot of questionable activity happening over there with good old Boeing right now. $79.
Break me down and make me weak again. After all, I called you my best friend. And I've been here, I know the story ends.
No, 4,800 would be half of that. Oh, I like this jam, guys. It says rock out. Let's go. What are you trading today? Market is interesting today. Oh, yeah, we're down across the board, all indices, so be careful out there, guys. We got the CPI print happening tomorrow. Do not forget that. That is key. Does that sound loud over there? Let me see. Nah, it doesn't sound too crazy. I know it doesn't because I can see it on the levels here. So, all right, look at SPY here. Starting a little bit out of trouble. Indecisive here with the 5-day EMA line. We're going to see how that reacts. All right. So SPY looks bearish here. There it goes, right? Starting to get a little bit of a continue the downward pattern here. See if we can stay below the 5-day EMA line. It's going to continue to push lower. No, maybe not. Look. Well, let's put a little trend line there and see what happens. All right, let's see if that plays out. Apple starting to get a little bit of a red candle there. Nice pop on it, though. I like that jam. All right, music being brought to you today by Infraction. No copyright music. Follow them on YouTube. All right, looks like a little bit of the support here on Apple starting to slip here at the 5-day EMA line. We'll see how that reacts there. Tesla's hanging around, right? It's trying to break through these levels. These three levels here, this 190, 186, and 182. We had set those levels last week, and they were levels to watch as Tesla was selling off. So that was interesting that it broke through all those levels, and now it's starting to work its way back up into those levels, right? But now it's starting to get rejection there, right? So it's got a lot of work to do, Tesla, to try to get a little bit more breaking that structure, you know. You see, and look, it's kind of hit a double top here, maybe like a little double top here, possibly. Yeah, see, sometimes you got to zoom out, guys. You got to zoom out and look at the whole chart here to see if you can identify a change. See, we're watching Boeing here sell off pretty hard. The SPY looks good here. All right, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the show. We're on here 3 times a week, so don't miss out on the next trade or the next show. Boeing, nice wick there at the bottom. Yes, it looks like Apple. It looks like a little bit weak here. Once they hit this gap, and let's see, what was that gap? What was that yellow gap here? It was probably another gap, right? Yeah, it had to be a gap. So it's right there. It's this gap here. So this gap here for Apple kind of hit the bottom of that gap, and it got rejected pretty hard off of that. It's starting to roll over here on the daily. See if we can catch that 5-day EMA line there for the upside. But that's the way it looks right now. SPY's starting to get some support here. Looks not looking too bad. Oh, that morning coffee, man, it's so good. I like coffee in the morning. All right, a little bit of a bullish pattern here. Oh, Juliana in the house.
Good luck, traders.
You got fire today? Yeah. Love you, baby. Bye. All right, starting to see a SPY here catch a little bit of a green candle here. Nice 3 candles here. Last 15 minutes. Last 45 minutes. Looking bullish. See what Tesla does here. Both Tesla and Apple look the same, right? They look like they're just kind of testing that 5-day EMA line. Boeing, nice little recovery here. Major wicking. I mean, it's not a bad spot to accumulate, you know, for the long term on Boeing. We just don't know how much downside is, how much downside there is for Boeing here. I mean, we don't know. It almost seems like every week there is, you know, some other bad news coming out about it. Yeah, so, yeah, Boeing had some nice one here. All right, I'm going to take a look around and see what else is going on. IoT just kind of, you know, looks like it's going to make another move to the upside, potentially. So we'll see about that. Target seems to have maybe finished selling off. It was just been selling off like real slow, real slow. And then Snap maybe found some support as well. Looks like everything is starting to kind of, it feels like the first hour or so, the market needed to digest Friday's move down. Like it hadn't really finished digesting the entire move down for the market after Friday's sell-off. And it feels like we're just about right now getting our footing, or at the very least finding a little bit of a relief here. You'll pull back on Tesla as well, just like Apple, right to the 5-day EMA line. Yeah, I think the biggest lesson in trading by far, it has to be patience, exercising patience, and then fighting the greediness as well. I think there's also a lot to be said about that, about, you know, you trying to make $10,000 by lunchtime. You know, like that's always a challenge. $39.93. Funny, that was the opposite of that. All right, looks good there. All right, so we're looking at IoT. We're looking at maybe taking a, just buying some shares here at the $39.93 level for IoT. Not a recommendation, not financial advice. You can lose money. But I'm going to be entering that, just adding to some shares there. Baba looks like it's kind of gassing out a little bit. Look at Apple pulling back. Boeing, let's see if it can continue more to the downside. Yeah. Let's do it. We'll add a little bit more to that. That's our average. All right, something to watch there. All right, getting a little bit of a bounce here on Tesla. That's good to see. To Dope Jam too. Bitcoin 72K, man. Wow, I'm still in awe. All right, there's SPY. A little bit of a pump on SPY. Looking good there on SPY. Nice pop there on SPY. We get a nice little candle formation there. You guys tread carefully. CPI print tomorrow, so be careful when you're positioning yourselves today. Big pop on SPY. Boeing, little recovery on Boeing too. IoT starting to move. Nice candle on IoT. Oh, I think Lyft was looking real bullish for us. Lyft looked like it had like a cup and handle, I think it was, right? Yeah. Yeah, it looks good for a little bit. Might have a little bit of a pullback on Lyft. Lyft looks good right now for Lyft looks good as like a little mini cup and handle on Lyft, you guys. Let's see. We're in leap calls for that. All right, we're gonna get a couple of shares of Lyft just for some price action here. It's about $500 worth, nothing too crazy. Entry price is $17.98. All right, we're gonna keep an eye on that too. Lyft, adding some shares on Lyft. So, not a financial advice, not a recommendation. You can lose money. And I should put those here with IoT here. IoT, and then move Marvel to the other side. Yeah, we got a nice pop on IoT, guys. Where's ARK? ARKK. Oh, it's pushing up. Well, not too bad. All right, little pullback on Tesla and on Apple. Pretty big pullback for that hour candle. And then Boeing looks really good on the recovery there. Oh man.
I get down.
If it's written in the stars, close your eyes and listen to the rhythm of your heart. If it's written in the stars, close your
All right, guys. Again, I have a job going on right now, and I have to make sure that my guys are doing a good job and they're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So it's always a little stressful when you have work going on somewhere and you have to kind of monitor that. I don't know what I did. Hold on.
I get down.
All right, guys. If you're checking it out, please let me know if you guys how the quality of the stream is. It's something that I think I stress out a little bit over. It's like, is the quality coming good? Do I need to change my Wi-Fi provider or my internet provider? Things like that matter, just to make sure that people are not just popping in and seeing a bunch of pixels and leaving. All right, 8 o'clock on the dot, guys, on the West Coast. Thanks for joining us today. This is The Spread. We are a live trading show Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time. Thanks for joining us today. Do not forget to subscribe to the Tradecaster channel as well as to our YouTube channel. And stay tuned with us. And thanks for hanging out with us, listening to some music and trading charts, making some money. Hope you guys are profitable today. I ain't tripping over Boeing, dude. IoT pumping 40.25 on IoT lifting off, not by much. Baba's doing really good today. Baba looks really good today. Finally, wonder if we should take a position on Baba. I think Baba saw a little bit of inflation though. All right, let's try it again. $75.67 on Baba. $3.15. All right, let's see if we can get a little bit of money on Baba. Nice cup and handle pattern though. Looks okay. Let's see if all our shares can print today. Spice pumping, looking good. Boeing's continuing to look bearish. Yeah, I'm gonna hang on to tomorrow. All right, but Boeing continuing lower here. Spy and Apple looking good there. Target looks bearish. 165 target. Interesting. Wonder what that looks like. 165 for target. TGT. 165 to the downside. All right, so we're gonna take a position on target. We're gonna go bearish 165 start target price for Friday. Not a recommendation. You will lose money. $165 put 15, right? All right, let's see if that plays out. All right, we're gonna take some put contract on target. 165 strike price for Friday. We're gonna see if that thing plays out. And that should probably be with my other chart, with my IoT chart here. So we're in BABA, AMD we're not. So we'll make this TGT. All right, so we'll watch this trade. We'll aim for the bottom of the range there, and then we'll move. What was here? AMD was. All right. Yeah, market looks a little bearish, guys, so be careful out there. Remember, we got that CPI print tomorrow. Yeah, be careful out there, guys. So Boeing continues to go lower. Our put position is working well there for us. We're also sitting on Apple and Tesla shares. We're just going to hang on to those. Not really going to trade those too much this week. And then we've also opened up some positions on IoT. That's the Samsara company, and as well as BABA, Lyft, and Target. Target, we've opened up a put position to the downside. The other three are just shares, so we're just adding shares to those positions. So overall, the market's pretty down overall. Yeah, everything's down. The Dow Jones, the New York, Russell, the NASDAQ, SP, S&P, you guys know the Qs. Everything's down. So we're still suffering from Friday's sell-off. So SPY here looks a little bit indecisive. You know, it's got a nice support at this level here, which is probably about 508 or so. But it's just like, it feels like a dead cat bounce, right? It doesn't feel like it's got a lot of strength behind that bounce. Everything else, for the most part, looks a little bearish to me as well. So we got that CPI print tomorrow on Tuesday morning before market opens. So you guys tread carefully in regards to how you're going to position yourself going into that data drop. Big winner for us today has been Boeing. We are sitting on puts. We're already in the money on that as of this morning. And we're expecting it to continue to fall further. And we're going to practice a little bit of discipline this time around with our contracts and not try to get out of them too quickly and give them a chance to play out. Yeah, starting to see a little bit of a pullback here on some of the things on our chart. We also took a put contract on Target for Friday. 165 strike price is currently at 167.58. It's actually up a little bit. The contract is the premium on it. We're already in the money on that, making them some money on that. Chips look bearish to me, guys, so be careful out there. If you're an NVIDIA trader, Marvel, AMD, SMCI, chips look bearish. Could drag down the entire market. They've been such a catalyst for the market. So if it helped it climb, it can also help it fall. See what you're saying. Oh, they got a commercial. Are they back yet? Yeah, they're in commercial. When these guys come back, CNBC, we'll listen to a little bit of CNBC, see if there's anything cracking with the CNBC commentators. They're the... Baba looks pretty strong. Target looks really weak, man. Wonder what's going on with Target. Is there any news on Target? Oh, they're the final trades. Those are from last week. Yeah, interesting how Target's reacting right now. A little bearish. All right, there's your pullback on SPY, right back to this rising support here. We're going to see how it reacts. All right, there's Boeing at the bottom of our range here, starting to breach that. This was like a little dead cat bounce, maybe to get a little bit more bearish on it. Interesting there on Boeing. That should be the big winner for the week, man. God willing. All right, look like Apple here starting to really hug that 5-day EMA line. All right, losing support there at the bottom of the range for Boeing. Looking good there. Apple looking good there too. Little bounce on SPY, right? So what looked like we're gonna start breaching that support line. We're still riding that support, looking healthy there. CNBC is not back yet. Let's see what those guys are talking about. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Had to take that call. All right, so SPY starting to break a little bit of the support here. Oh, yeah. We'll see how that goes. All right, Boeing starting to get more momentum here to the downside. I like how Apple looks pretty healthy. Apple looks really healthy there. All right, Baba's looking solid here on the breakthrough. Lyft pulling back a bit. Target continues to the downside, and then IoT is just kind of chilling right now. Yeah, I like the way Apple looks here. Apple looks pretty good. Solid.
Do you think you're slowly dying? Do you think you're slowly dying? Do you think you're slowly dying? Do you think you're slowly dying?
All right, what I miss? Watch that. Target recovering a bit. All right, continuing to watch the trades here. It's been a busy morning for me. Usually not as busy for me in the mornings outside of trading. That's why I like to trade early in the morning and be done by 9 a.m. But today's been an interesting morning so far with just some activity that I got going on outside of my trading life. But we'll continue to do what we can. All right, S&P 500 5104 really hasn't moved here too much. It should be an hourly chart here. Interesting to see 5104, and then the futures is 5170 on the future side. Snaps falling. Marvel looking bearish to me. Baba recovering there. Lyft not so much, but we expected a little bit of a pullback on Lyft, so I'm not too disappointed in that one. All right, Tesla's starting to pull back a bit. We didn't add to Tesla. So we got 170, 183. All right, just adjusting that real bit. All right, traders, where you guys are at, tell me what you're trading. Let me know what's on your, if there's specific something you want to look at. If not, we're just going to keep trading this, keep trading these charts that we're in right now. Our Boeing play is doing really well. We're long on Apple and Tesla and shares, so that's been going well. We're also long on IoT, Lyft, and Baba, and we're short on Target with a $165 strike price for Friday. Those are the plays right now. Yeah, IoT starting to reverse a little bit. Let's see how that goes. All right, IoT is pulling back a little bit there. Lyft as well, but we expect it on Lyft. And then on Baba, we're kind of haven't really moved from where the position that we entered. So we're going to keep watching that. Boeing's doing really good for us. Boeing's at the bottom of the range here. Hopefully it loses that, breaches that. Apple's looking solid here. Tesla's just kind of, it's up for the day, but it's just kind of been not really doing much. Just once that first volume candle was really good, and then it hasn't really done much after that. All right, traders, we're 8:30 on a Monday morning. Hope you guys had a great weekend. We are 30 minutes away from going off the air here. I'm going to continue to watch our positions and trade into the end of the show here. But overall, market looks a little bit indecisive, little red across the board. I think for the most part, everybody's just kind of waiting to see what happens tomorrow at market open. At the CPI print tomorrow is going to be very, very important for the market the rest of the week. SPY just broke the support here. Probably looking bearish there. It's 509 to the downside. Let's look at SPY. $82. All right, starting to see a little break here on SPY. We've taken a put on SPY here. Let's see kind of how that plays out. 509 puts for today. Not financial advice, not a recommendation. $509, right? That's what we put. Yeah, 509 puts. I can't believe they were that cheap. See if it can hold that pre-market low. If we're wrong here, we got to get out quick. Got really no time to dick around with it. All right, guys, see if that 509 plays out. Make some money on the SPY here. Boeing's already doing the great thing there, breaching that level. Target's falling still. Baba. It looks like everything's falling, man. Should probably. Apple looks solid though. Apple looks good, and so does Tesla. Oh, a little bit of bounce on SPY there. It just bounced. You see how it acts here. All right, SPY's popping a little bounce down. SPY. Can't let it get too crazy. Got to keep an eye on that. As a 0 DTE, we don't want to hang on there too long. All right, here's SPY continuing to get rejected at the 5-day EMA line. Hopefully we can get a breach there. We've broken support here, so we have some downside momentum. Anything can happen, though. All right, Boeing continuing to fall. SPY, see if we can lose support here at this pre-market low. If not, we're going to have to close this position out. See what our other stuff is doing. All right, target continues lower there. Not by much, but it is falling a bit. Or a little bounce on SPY there. Got volume dropping though. These are 50-minute candles, so just a matter of just watching them here. Got down to 508.55 was the low of the day. All right, continue to watch the SPY here. This trade's going against us. We're down 15. No, more than that, right? Yeah, we're down 34 bucks on this SPY trade. See if it's gonna play out or not. We're gonna draw a little trend line here. See if that helps us. It's more like this. All right, Boeing continuing to sell off. That's great. Oh, Target's big cheekly on Target, 166.72. So that one's printing as well. That's been a good trade so far, Target. Target puts up printing. Target puts up printing. Say that 3 times fast. What's Sean saying? Bitcoin 72,102, 108, 104. Yeah, Target selling off. Wonder why. Arc, not so good there. Yeah, Target's got some downside momentum there, selling off pretty hard. SPY breaking this just lower. What is this? Is falling? Yeah, falling resistance. Right, it's kind of starting to test it here. That looks strong off that bounce here. Off this bottom bounce, it did really good. SPY did. All right, watching Tesla here. Find some support at the 5-day EMA line. SPY breaking up with some momentum. Yeah, that's why sometimes you want to take the contrarian trade, right? Like, look at this here. But we've got some levels here though. So let's check these levels here. I see a little bit of resistance here. Just looking at all these levels here. It could also be a 50% retracement there. Let's check that level there. Make it like a little golden level here. I think 85. I like to use 85. All right, there it is. Boeing continues to sell off. Target bouncing a little bit there. Yeah, Boeing's done. 189.80 was the low. Let's see how SPY reacts at this level here. All right, so Boeing selling off hard. Those puts are in the money now. 192.50 was our strike price. We're currently at 190.77 on Boeing. Boeing, you know, it's just a lot of issues with Boeing, guys. So careful with that trade there. And then we're starting to see maybe SPY get the exhaustion gap here. Start to get exhausted at this golden pocket level. Yeah, it's all pixelated, man. I don't know why it looks like that. All right, so there's your rejection on SPY. You saw this candle here broke through. We've got this downward resistance, this falling resistance happening here. We're gonna see, and then we got all this kind of like confluence happening on this level. So we're gonna see what SPY does at that level here. See if it pulls back. Everything else is falling. Even the positions that we've opened on Lyft, Baba, and IoT are now negative. All right, starting to lose some support here on SPY. See how that goes. All right, we'll see how SPY acts at this level here. We've got some confluence at that level. We've got downward resistance. We'll see what SPY does there. Boeing's continuing to sell off. See if we can get this sell off here. Still got the downward, got that downward trend overall, but it's starting to maybe test this change the structure here. That's crazy. I've been looking at this truck to buy, and since I've looked at it, they've dropped the price on it 3 times. All right, so there's your SPY really making an effort to break above that golden zone here. We're going to see if it makes that attempt. It's looking healthy here. Might pull the market up. Market's recovered a bit today too. All right, SPY really trying to break through here. If we can get through this golden zone here, I think we'll see a lot more upside on SPY. All right, traders, it's been a blast. Last 3 hours of trading has been fun. I think I've had a lot of distractions on my end, so my apologies today. Just kind of being all over the place. Like I said, I've got some work happening right now with the business, and I need to make sure that that's priority number 1, right? Because we want to ensure that our business stays healthy, so that it allows us some freedom and allows us to do some of the cool stuff we get to do that having a job doesn't allow. So on that note, just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Again, this is The Spread. We are a live trading show, and we stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time on the West Coast on the Tradecaster airwaves and on YouTube. So make sure that you guys are checking us out and enjoying the show, and make sure you subscribe and give us some feedback. No hard feelings. Everything's appreciated. But other than that, thanks for hanging with me today. I look forward to hanging with you guys on Wednesday. Let you know how these positions are playing out. So far, so good. But we'll see how the rest of the day goes. But trade safe, trade careful. We'll see you guys for the CPI print the day after. Have a good one. Peace out.